everyone. Welcome to Bleeding Blue Shirts episode 3 as we preview game 3 Saturday night in Pittsburgh. Giannone and Steve Valiquette with you. And before we get to what's going to happen on Saturday, Stevie, just a word on what happened in game 2 Thursday at the Garden. We talked about it afterward. We talked about it before, how to attack Dominque. And, you know, when you put 5 on the board in a playoff game, you're doing a lot of things right. What'd you like most about what the Rangers did?
I think that they just stuck to their game plan. At this point, they know who they are, and they didn't take any bad penalties. There wasn't a big momentum swing that went against them when they carried the momentum. I think that overall, I think you've got to be very excited because Igor Shesterkin was healthy and energetic, and he was able to go into that game and not really show the effects of the 75 chances that he had faced on Tuesday. And then you get through your defense where Lindgren is missing, but that doesn't leave too significant of a hole for you because Braun filled in well. I like the fact that the offense was rolling. If there's one part or one aspect I didn't like, I think they're just giving up too many scoring chances. And you're not going to have a long runway in the playoffs if you're giving up the amount of chances that they gave up in this game. They've really got to tighten it up because the expected goals is well over 4, and this game did not go into overtime.
But we did hear Gerard Gallant after game 2 say that maybe the worst he's seen his team play in a long time was that first 7 or 8 minutes of the third period when Pittsburgh had 9 shots on goal. The Rangers didn't have any. Igor Shesterkin saved the bacon there. When you look at what happened in that third period, that first 8 minutes, and extrapolate to game 3 on Saturday, where are the areas that the Rangers have to improve, and how do they improve it?
And I don't disagree with Coach Gallant there. But you know what they had? They had a stop. They put a stop to it. There was 5 grade A chances that Pittsburgh had in the first 5 minutes of that third period, but then there was a stop. And I got to give the Rangers credit there. They didn't let it bleed through to the final 15 minutes of that third period. The way that they lost that game. Look, the Rangers, forget about the missed call on the Kakko net drive and the goal called back for Hedl. The Rangers lost game number 1 because of how they performed in the second period. They're bad, just can't be that bad, right? And that's what happened in game number 1. Now, in game number 2, they were trending that way in the third period. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, guys, like settle in right now because this can't happen again where your bad period, your problem period becomes that bad. And they put a stop to it. So I do give the group credit there because, and you know, look, my rooting interest is with the Rangers. But you know what, to me, they're easy to root for, John, because I believe this team has high character and they learned their lesson from game number 1 and put a stop to it in game number 2 in that third period.
We asked Henrik Lundqvist after the game last night, 2 games plus nearly 3 overtimes is probably enough to establish a trend of what is working and maybe what isn't working. So what do you think the Rangers most want to bring to game 3 on Saturday? Because what he said was, in 2 games, the best part of the Rangers game has been their tenacity toward the puck and their ability to be much more physical than Pittsburgh is.
Isn't that the truth? The physicality, again, started the game the right way for them. Ryan Reeves' hit on Malkin in the first period, John, it sends a message, not just to the opposition, but to your group. It goes right to the bench. You know, I've been there. The bench goes nuts for that, and that gives belief. Your goalie making some early saves gives you belief. The hit that we also saw on Gensel, Trouba on Gensel, that's another one where it just sends a message. It gives everybody a little bit more belief, like we can physically handle this. This is not what we've seen in the past from this group. This is a group that's tough. Like it's back to that black and the blue shirts type of mentality. And what I love about the team is that everybody knows their role. You know, you're not going to see the third and fourth line trying to play like the first 2 lines because the first 2 lines, and I feel they're as good as any first 2 lines in the league right now, they're going to skill it up, but they're also on the hunt. And I give them a lot of respect last night for how they were on the puck after the shots came to the net and how quickly they recovered pucks. That was a big part of their identity. The only thing they have to guard against is not letting Pittsburgh get so many opportunities off the rush. Because they're lucky they didn't get bit last night a few times, and I think there's far too many rush plays. The rush plays, again, were 3-1 in favor of Pittsburgh. And when they get going, they get lost behind coverage, and they open you up. And Sidney is out there poaching whenever he gets the opportunity. He stays back. the play starts going the other way and he's waiting for his guys to turn it over and he's behind the play. 3 times last night, again, behind the play with one-on-one plays with Shesterkin. It's dangerous. You're fighting with fire there. So, yeah, they've got to be a little bit more alert and be able to shut down the rush game in Game 3.
You and I will be there to talk all about it with Henrik Lundqvist on the pregame show, which begins 6:30 Saturday night on MSG. And then throughout the intermission reports and the postgame, extended 1-hour postgame, Sam and Joe have the call of Game 3, Rangers and Penguins in Pittsburgh. Puck drops just after 7. Looking forward to it, Stevie. Thanks, bud.
Me too.